No. Hello and welcome to BYOB. I am author Nola Nash, and over here is author Kerry Schafer. Down here is author Laura Kemp, and we are so excited to have Kerry with us on the show today, and we're going to let her introduce herself in just a minute. But getting going, make sure that you guys know, you get to tell all about yourself. We want to make sure that you guys know that we are going to be keeping an eye on the comments. So please leave a comment or a question as we go along. We will try to get to some of those and answer your burning quandaries. It is BYOB. We don't know what the B stands for. It's
anything.
Books. It's boys, bubbles. I've got booze and bubbles. So this is bubbly. This is my Melon Splash. Lately, it's been my summer thing, my go-to. So you guys will see that. I do have a backup because I started drinking early. So
These for backup too.
These for backup. I have backup booze. Backup bubbly booze. We're on it. Now,
I love that intro, by the way. That's just like brilliant. How fun.
It's so cute, isn't it?
We just decided it needed kind of like an 80s throwback, retro-y kind of a thing because that's us.
Miami Vice, you know. We like Miami Vice.
We're so cool, right?
We're children of the 80s. We're dating ourselves a bit, but
a little bit.
That was
It's coming back though, right? All the neon and everything. It's like
coming back.
We're making circles.
High-waisted jeans and
oh my gosh, I wanted to
hear I can't do it. I can't do the high-waisted jeans. Oh, you know what else is back? Jumpsuits. I went looking for like some cute little summer pants, and they're like, "We have jumpsuits." I'm like, "No, I can't do it."
No. I don't want to wear a jumpsuit. Do you know how long the legs would be on a jumpsuit on me? I'm 5 feet tall. Do you have any idea what idiocy that would be? Me walking around in a jumpsuit, the waistband would be down around my hips and the legs.
I'd love to see it. You should model it next week.
I should.
Here's the other problem with jumpsuits, and they don't mix with booze, just so you know, because you have to take the whole thing off to go to the bathroom, which is another B word.
Another B word.
That's right, which I have to do a lot of when I have booze. So,
so if we have to take a potty break,
don't wear a jumpsuit. And I'm not wearing one. So
it'll be a quick potty break for Laura. All right, so Kerry is here today. Normally it's just me and Laura hanging out and talking. We know that's we love having you guys around for the just us sitting around talking about stuff. But we did bring Kerry on because we've decided we like hanging out with friends too, not just each other. And Kerry's a trip. So Kerry was like the choice for the first.
Am I really your friend though? I mean, like really?
Our first friend. Yes.
So Kerry has a little identity too. So we've invited Kerry Schafer and Kerry and King. So they're both here.
Friends
swapping back and forth.
I told my people in my newsletter today that really Kerry Schafer was only invited, but Kerry Ann King is coming along because I take her everywhere that I go. So she's a party crasher.
So she can absolutely crash this party. I'm totally down with that. We hope that she does.
Were they wondering about that? Who is this extra person?
This extra strange person. All right. So I've introduced my drink. Laura, what have you got down there in your Weezer cup?
Oh, well, I have some Cabernet in here. I started drinking more red wine because I got a bad report from the doctor on my cholesterol.
No.
So, of course, to remedy that, drink red wine. So, and it's in a Whack the Weezer tumbler, which Nola and Kerry probably both know. This is from Steel Magnolias. When they talk about Whack the Weezer. But yes, I have Cabernet in mine.
Excellent.
For my heart.
For your heart.
Exactly. It's for your health. You're drinking for your health.
It's the healthiest drink of us all. Now, Carrie, you're going to have to tell the folks about what you're drinking because it makes you make faces.
Yeah, it is making me make faces. So this is it's healthy. This is healthier. It has cranberries and apples in it. So I trump your wine. It's called a Cranny Granny from Wicked Cider. And I'm drinking this because we actually had one of our sons brought his girlfriend up to visit over the weekend, and she left me a couple of cans of this because she thought I might like it. I was drinking my favorite drinks all weekend, which are, like red wine and gin and tonics. And I shouldn't say all weekend because I don't really like drink all of the time, but the ones that I had. So I thought, since I'm speaking to you from down at my office and I didn't want to bring a bottle of wine down here and I do need to drive home, that this would be a good beverage to try. But it is so freaking sour, you guys. Every time I take a swallow, my face goes, So, it's not exactly photogenic drink. It's not a photogenic drink.
You know what's going to happen is when this freezes, like they do on YouTube, there's always this, it's all of us that just went.
Are those making Granny Smith apples? Are those Granny Smith apples that are in there? Is that why it's so tart?
Yeah, and like mixed with cranberry too. Which is also cranberry and Granny Smith. Tart, I should have known. I should have seen it. Should have known.
It's like those pantsuits.
Yes.
Pantsuits and Granny Smith apples. Me. Cranberries.
Serious.
Things that make you go.
Let's just add a spit take to the whole thing now.
Yes. You get a few slides to choose from. Those will be the ones. It's never the ones we're all smiling at each other being lovely. It's always the weird faces. That's what it is. I think there's somebody checking those things in YouTube. There's some little elf in YouTube going, that's the one. This malicious little picture choosing.
It always is a malicious. I agree. Like a malicious little,
It should be a meme, shouldn't it? We should make a meme about that.
Someone who knows how to make memes, make memes. Oh,
we should know, shouldn't we?
Hi, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia.
And she's interested in your drink. Now, Patricia, you do a lot of live things too, so perhaps not one to drink on a live, as we have discovered. It makes you make weird faces. So maybe we should all just, in support of Kerry, every time we sit, make a weird face.
I think that I would feel supported and loved if you were doing that.
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
I do have to apologize. Here we go. Ready? I'm ready. I can't do it without laughing. So I've tried to make my chair not squeaky. So if you hear the squeaky chair, I'm sorry. I don't have any WD-40. I don't know where it's actually squeaking. I did try to spray it down with Pam, vegetable oil spray. It's still squeaky.
Pam, really?
You can hear it. I thought, I've greased a sliding door with it before, and I thought maybe it is not working. I sound like I'm in an old rocking chair.
Well, you do. That's cool. That's
spooky. It's a spooky vibe.
You're a southern girl, so you got a southern sound.
Yes, I've got my southern rocking chair. So if you hear the weird squeak, I did try to fix that. But now it's still squeaking and it's covered in vegetable oil for no apparent reason.
At least it's not making farting noises. So,
Well, it kind of was. I guess it kind of improved it just a little bit. I was like, I have to do something. If I move, this is going to sound terrible.
Just don't move the whole time.
I'd have to make a whole banner that says, it's the chair. Just leave it out.
I'll have to put my teacher face on and go, who's making that noise? Which one of you is making that noise?
Oh my gosh. My nephew was at my nephew's baseball game this weekend, and we were sitting by the dugout. And 8-year-olds in a dugout are hilarious when you overhear what they're talking about.
I bet.
One of them is telling the other one about some kid that farted really loud in class, and the teacher didn't hear it. I'm sitting here in my teacher head going, she heard it. She just
didn't want to deal with it. Too much to deal with it.
It's like, you don't not hear that.
No. Sometimes you just don't care.
You don't care. But it was like that teacher was so stupid and deaf and old or whatever this kid was thinking, because she didn't actually react to that. I'm going,
No, it's funny what students think about teachers, isn't it? That like
know,
we live at the school,
Mhm.
we're super excited for the first day. We never want to go home during the summer. It's like this fantasy that they create about teachers. Like, no, I don't live there. I like to go home. I like
They're
summer.
so shocked when they see you in the grocery store or something. Like,
You're real person.
out in public, they let you out of the building.
Grocery? You eat food? You're not here at the school waiting for me? Grading my
We
paper.
don't eat in the cafeteria for dinner. You know, I mean, it's hilarious.
No,
The surprise on their face is always hilarious. All right, so we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We actually decided, I mean, normally we're, seat of our pants, flying by the seat of our pants here, and it's fun. But we did decide we wanted to talk about something in particular because Kerry showed me her brand new. Whoa.
Where are we now? We're at the school.
I don't know.
We're at a school.
We're in a trailer park.
That's not what I
was a
want to
trailer
get
park.
here. Where did we go?
Where are we? Trying to figure it out. Oh, we
It
are.
is definitely a trailer park. Why are we in a trailer park? Are we like the trailer park girls?
Why is it not in front? It's supposed to go in. I planned something and it doesn't work.
She's the tech lady at her school.
I'm getting dizzy, Nola. You and this drink,
Okay. I'm an instructional coach. Part of my job is figuring out technology for teachers who teach online, and this is what happens to me. Please don't let my principal watch this and use this as my evaluation. Okay, well, it was going to say, let's talk about trailers.
Oh, that's funny. That was the segue.
That's really funny.
The whole thing
That's
was talking about
cute.
trailers. You can't see the words. And I can't make it go in the front.
There's no way you can position it in front, huh? Like on Canva?
That's what I'm trying to do, and
You could take us all out. You could click us all out of the picture, and then
but then we
bring us
can't
back
talk. So
in.
hang on.
Well, that's
Be
true.
quiet for a second. There. Let's talk about trailers. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
That was so cute.
Our background's gone. There's our stars. What the heck? Okay. I don't know what was happening.
Oh, I liked the trailers, but it made me think
I
have to ask you guys now if you've ever seen the Trailer Park Boys.
No.
Which is a Canadian show that is just like the weirdest, quirkiest, crack you up sort of show that you have ever seen in your life. So I dare you to actually go watch an episode.
Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
It's kind of like The Office in that it's done like a documentary, but it's about these people that live in a trailer park in Canada, mind you. So it's anyway, yeah, you have to see it.
Nice. All right. I love The Office, and I miss it now that they took it off of Netflix because I'm sorry. I'm not going to go buy the Peacock subscription just to watch The Office. So I'm just hurt.
Looks like Patricia's heard of it. Trailer Park Boys.
Patricia's heard of it. Trailer Park Boys. So, all right.
Maybe we'll have the boys on next time. They'll be the B. Who's Bubbles Trailer Park Boys?
I'll get the picture in the right place next time. Sorry, y'all are gonna think I've been drinking much longer than I have. That was just stupidity, is what it was.
Come on, you already told
Not
us
the
you
drinking.
started early.
Not the drinking.
It's her brain.
It's my brain. It's the first few weeks of school. I'm really not sure where I left my brain, especially given the fact that I work
in the cafeteria.
It's around here somewhere. I haven't left this house. Like, this is where I work. Look, hear my chair. It's doing it again. All right, so Kerry has this fabulous trailer out, and we're gonna watch it. And then, Kerry, I'm gonna let you tell us a little bit about the making of that trailer because there was kind of some fun story about it. So here's what I'm gonna do. Please let this work. Please let this work. Because this is what it's done to me today. All right,
some sort of little magic spell we could cast or something like all
you think us, me of all people should know that, right?
Oh, hey. Here it goes.
Can you see what I see? Do you hear that? Okay.
I'm not really a thief. It's just that some objects want to be somewhere else. The
call Woods isn't really stealing. She just moves things from one place to another. When she relocates a seemingly harmless paperback, it unleashes a series of events that threatens to destroy everything she's worked for. Other people's things, from best-selling author Kerry King. Coming soon.
I love it. It's so awesome.
Ooh, that is cool.
How fabulous is that trailer?
I was so excited when I saw that trailer.
All right, so tell us a little bit about that, because we all want to know. My first question was, who's the voice? Because it's fabulous.
The voice is the ever awesome Terry Schafer. Although the voice at the beginning is actually me, which is really fun because I
sounded like you.
Yeah, I got to do a voiceover in my own trailer. So this is really fun. I've done trailers. I love them, and I've paid for professionals to do them before, but I knew that Terry did these kinds of things and was super talented. So I hit him up a while ago and was like, hey, I'd like to pay you to do a trailer for me. So he said, yeah, sure. And then, he had me look for images and stuff. I couldn't find the right images. I have these weird characters. It just didn't want to have their pictures anywhere that would be even remotely close. So he said, never mind, I want to shoot some live film. So what you see at the beginning with the objects being moved, this was actually date night. Terry put his wife Colleen to work on date night and filmed her moving things and took live footage. And then he put it all together with his awesome voiceover and made that fabulous trailer for me. So I just keep watching it over and over. It just makes me happy. It's my little happy place. I have it on replay.
I've watched it several times. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And Terry Schafer is he's part of Authors on the Air, as is Kerry. And so gotta give a huge shout out to our authors on the Air.
Well, we should also say he's also an author, and he has a new book out also. So he calls it Jessica 2.0, which is the second book in his Jessica, oh dear, I can't remember her last name, series. She's a cop. She's a female cop, totally kick-ass. It's a crime series that this second book is called Chasing the Captain. It takes you all over the globe. It's an international thriller, super fun. I got to read it. So
he's a super guy and a really nice guy. Isn't his wife an author too, or am I thinking about somebody else?
You know what? I'm not sure actually about that.
Look that up. Anybody knows? Terry Schafer's
You can tell us.
I don't know.
Let us know. Put it in the comments. I'm gonna have to go look that up. Maybe
she moves things around on date night. That's what
we know. She's great at that.
She's good at moving things around.
She might be a dinner. I mean, some of that is pretty slick. It's
I know. She was really good at that. Like she's practiced. So Kerry's got that fabulous trailer, and because that came out, we decided, hey, let's talk about trailers. And so we have Laura's, which Laura, you are changing the name of your third book. We're going to reveal that later on. You're going to do a reveal on Camp.
It was weird. I was editing the book, and I had never really, the title of the third book had never really, I don't know, like taken root or taken home in my heart. Mm-hmm. Like, it had to feel right. And I always kept trying, well, it's a good name. It goes, but then when I was editing, one of my characters said something that she hadn't said before. And I go, oh, that's the title. That's the title, what she just said. And so I just messaged the publishing house, and they were great. They said, go ahead and change it because nothing has been set in stone yet. So I want to have a reveal for the new name.
Very nice. So she was holding out on you, your character. Don't you just love when they do that?
I do. They always surprise you, don't they? Strange times.
I love it when they do that. So I wanted to get the name change, and that we're going to reveal it on Camp Camp later. Laura's going to do a thing. It's going to be fun because everything Laura does on Camp Camp is fun. If you have not been over to Facebook and joined Camp Camp, it's a great group to be part of. So you guys need to go and join that.
I guess it's always my wish to be a camp counselor, and I never was. So now I get to have all my fun virtually.
Lots of fun. So much fun stuff. So she will definitely do a big thing. Oh, look, Patricia's got another. See, characters surprising Patricia too. We love it as authors. That's our favorite thing. Gotta love that. All right, so we're gonna take a look at Laura's that now just says book 3 because
but who made it? we've got to give props to who made it.
made this one.
I'm so
Go,
backwards.
Nola.
Nola makes book trailers. And she does it so quickly. I'll message her at work. I have an idea. How about you make me a trailer for? And she, 15 minutes later, it's done. I'm like,
I might be a Canva addict. I'm sure there's a support
groups for that. Yeah,
I need to join it. I'm a Canva addict too.
It's so user friendly
as anything else. So Laura's book trailer is. I forgot to take out the old name. So now you know what the old name was. That's what the book isn't.
Mine was lagging. Was your guys' lagging or was it just me?
No, it looked great here.
Oh, good. Because I was like, oh, no.
It was fine on my end, but then
awesome.
I'm sort of running this show sadly, but running it.
So we're going to call it Forget the Wind.
Forget the wind.
Forget it.
Forget the wind. Forget
it.
The wind has passed. Gone with the wind.
Gone.
The wind has been passed. Like Nola's here.
We don't, as long as we don't break the wind.
Yeah, breaking wind.
Breaking wind is the same thing as breaking the wind. This is why I'm laughing over here. But excellent work. It totally makes me want to read the book, which is the whole point of the trailer, right? Because
my favorite part is picking the music. And it's funny that I spend so much time on picking the music. And I think, Laura, you and I have had this conversation before about how I really dig into finding the right music that I want to put with it. And most people, when they're scrolling through Facebook, watching the trailers, don't have their sound on. And so it's like all this energy that I put
into about that. But the ones who do put their sound on, they'll be in for a treat. You always have great music. You've made a few things for me. And yeah, it's always been exciting.
I like the music. The music is such a fun part of it all. I love all of it. I really do love making them, and it's a lot of fun. And so...
And I kind of wrote my synopsis. Like, I was thinking about it, and I was trying to give you text for this, and I don't know if you guys like writing synopsises.
No.
Synopses.
Synopsis.
I hate it. Synopsis.
That is the devil's work.
And I just, it kind of just came through, and I was like, yes, maybe I have at least part of a synopsis.
Benny Sims is here.
Dadgum wind.
Remember the dadgum wind. Benny said Benny and I got to have dinner the other night when he was in town for Killer Nashville. And congratulations,
I'm jealous.
Benny. Benny's book won Best Mystery at Killer Nashville. So his book, Code Gray, won an award at our local Killer Nashville. We're going to talk a little bit more about who one of the keynote speakers are when we get to what we're reading, because that was actually one of their books is what I'm reading. So, but Benny swore at dinner, because we were talking about Laura. He says that he is his life goal is to teach Laura Kemp how to speak Southern. So
maybe I already know, Benny.
We will work on
Turn me into a Southern Belle.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. Okay, Benny. She's.
I think I've already got it. I am in community theater, and I did play Lori in Oklahoma. Is that kind of Southern?
Vocabulary. You got the lilt. We're going to get
Daggum.
vocabulary.
Daggum wind.
That's right,
Benny.
Yes.
You can teach me some words.
There you go. We're going to work on your vocabulary.
Okay.
And before you know it, you'll be drinking sweet tea on the front porch, watching the hound dogs out in the yard.
The what in the yard? That's one of my vocabulary words. I need
Well, Benny's not as impressed.
Benny.
I thought it was pretty.
All right.
All right. She's got you have the Hollywood Southern. We've got to get the real Southern in here.
Hollywood Southern. All right.
Hollywood Southern. And, we're not even going to bother with New Orleans and South Louisiana. Even those people don't do it the same way. You can go down there and talk to 6 different people and see 6 different accents.
There's a Michigan accent. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, I can hear it.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's mostly in our
You
pop,
speak Michigan.
mom, pop.
Yeah, it's very wide vowels.
Amazingly. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I didn't even realize.
There's also Canadian, but I've kind of lost mine mostly. Although if I go home and visit, it comes out.
I can kind of hear it still.
You can hear it a little bit.
You can hear it, eh?
Yeah.
I can hear it. It's like the Yoopers here in Michigan. They have a little bit of it too.
The out and about.
A boot, out in a boot.
See, we don't say a boot. I'm from BC, so the boot thing doesn't really happen. But yeah, Southern and Northern also has variations. Yeah,
absolutely.
Newfoundlander being the extremist of the most extreme. Yeah, they're proper grammar.
Words are hard.
They are.
Vocabulary.
Words are hard. It's
Especially
not like
with
letters or anything.
Okay, so Nola, you have a trailer. I want to see yours.
I do. Here's mine. This is for the first book in the Crescent City series, Crescent City Moon. There you go.
Nice.
And there's Crescent City Moon.
Mine was lagging again. Darn it. I don't know.
Was it lagging for you, Kerry, or is it just Laura over there?
No lagging for
The
me.
only lagger.
You're such a lagger,
I'm
Laura.
such a lagger. I'm sorry, but I enjoyed it.
Laura
Laura
the
the
lagger.
Laura the lagger. Laura's seen it. It's okay.
I've seen it before.
I have, but it had been a while.
She's
Yeah.
seen it.
Very
Did
cool.
you make that one, Noah?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I made that one too. I haven't had anybody else make any of mine yet. So I've been talking to Kerry about enlisting Terry Shepard for Traveler that's coming out in March. So maybe have to have him voice over that one. That would be fun.
Yeah. How would you feel about that? Do you think you'd be okay with having somebody else do it? Or would you be in there? Oh, that's not the right music.
No, I think I'd be okay. I think I would be okay. I'd relinquish that one. I think with the first ones, it was like, it's my book, it's my baby. I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure this out. A whole lot of it had to do with, I'm going to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
And more than anything, it was, I wanted to know how to do it. Because I'm just, I don't know, I'm like that. I get my teeth in something and I have a hard time letting it go until I've gotten it.
Right.
I just can't. I have a hard time bailing on books. I'm not one of those that, like, there are very few books I've bailed on because it's like once I start something, I have to get to the end. But that's just me. I think the Traveler, I could do it because it's a different book. It's a different series. It's a different style. And so I think Terry would do a better job with Traveler than I would. Just plus
he's really fun to work with because he really loves a creative collaboration. So it's not like you would just say to him, like I did with my first couple trailers, here's the stuff. And then they give you something and you like it or you don't necessarily, Yeah.
So I think that would be fun. That's the part that I think I would really enjoy is actually kind of bouncing those things around and going, okay, what do we want to do with this? Because somebody's going to have a great idea, and sometimes it comes from building on each other's idea. And
Right. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. That's it. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just, I'm going to keep digging around in Canva until I find what I want. But I do have that dark, intense kind of style when I do things like this. And Traveler is very different. It's a totally different vibe. Very snarky, very sarcastic, still a mystery and, intense in times, but also just not quite as dark as the Crescent City books. So I don't know that I'm the right person to make that trailer, I guess is what I'm saying.
It might end up dark is what you're saying, right? It will inevitably end up dark.
It would end up really dark and I'd be going, no, it's just not really Shelby. Like that's not the right thing. That's Zaley, not Shelby. Shelby Starling, I always say if Anthony Bourdain were a 20-something chick, that's Shelby Starling. So she's got the sass, the funny. She's drunk half the time. I mean, that's how she solves her problem. Get drunk and forget about it. So,
That's
many ways.
I would life choice.
That's a great choice. I'm fine with that life choice. I make it all the time. But hence BYOB. It started off about books. It's become quickly about booze. Fun stuff there. All right. So what are we reading? I would put the slide up for what you're reading. It would be a background because I've just now figured out why it's behind us. It's not in the overlays. It's in the background.
Right.
Oh, but you figured that. Okay.
I be an idiot. Idjit. That is a Southern word for, Laura's schooling there.
What's my schooling? What's my word?
Idjit.
Idjit.
I'm an idjit.
I'm an idjit.
I'm an idiot.
But I'm in my
that was an
Hollywood.
idiot.
It's an idjit. Have you heard of Rern? That's just Rern.
That's just Rern.
Rern? Have you heard of that? My friend from Arkansas told me that milk's just Rern.
It's Rern. I mean, if you
go,
put
what's
something in the oven too long and it gets burned, you just Rern dinner.
Well, that's spoiled. That milk done spoiled at Rern.
It's Rern. That's right.
But don't drink that milk that's Rern. So
don't drink that Rern milk. It's spoilt. It's spoilt is what it is.
Spoiled and it's Rern. Well, I suppose you can use it for anything, not
don't
just
spoil that child. That milk is spoilt. It's Rent. All these things.
That child is Rern.
Yes, that child is spoilt.
You like saying that word, don't you? Can you say it one more time for us, Laura?
That milk is Rern.
There we go.
Nice. It's fun to say.
Rern.
It's fun to say.
Now,
I'm not even going to try.
Now, my mother had a word. My mother was married before my father to a man from Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, Hazard.
Oh.
And she swears that they use the word squeehawed down there. She picked it up down there on one of his trips. I've never met anybody who knows, and I use it. That's all squeehawed, and they don't know what I'm talking about. And I said, my mom swears it's a word from Hazard. Has anybody heard of squeehawed?
Is it like cattywampus or wonky?
Benny Sims, have you heard of squeehawed?
Benny, have you heard squeehawd? Come on.
Oh, wait, he said yes. Was he saying it?
He said yes a long time ago to something else.
Benny, you got me excited. Delayed excitement from it.
Delayed excitement. Nobody knows squeehawd, and so now that's a new word. We're going to be
squeehawd kind of means burnt, or it means all messed up. Something's all messed up.
See, I would have guessed that it meant something like, squeed, like with excitement. A squeehawd. Like between excitement and laughter together.
Oh, Benny's never heard.
I squealed and then I laughed.
See, I like
if something's broken or messed up or something's off kilter, she uses it. That's the squeehawd. And I just use it.
That's wonky or cattywampus.
It's like wonky. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Squeehawd. I don't know. Eastern Kentucky. We'll see.
I'm gonna have to look into that one.
We got a lot of
squeehawd.
Yeah, squeehawd. HAWED.
Squeehawd, like past tense of squeehaw.
Well, like hee-haw.
Something, and once you do, it's squeehawd.
It's squeehawd. That tire on that car all squeehawd.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Eastern Kentucky. Right. Anybody from Eastern Kentucky will find
somebody validate Laura's work.
Somebody validate me. No, I can move on. I'm going to move on.
Okay. Let it go. Just gonna let it go.
Okay. On to the next.
And your sweet on us. All right. So what are we reading? Again, if I try to do it, let's just show how idiotic. There we go. This is what you're reading.
Okay. We get the gist.
Sorry. I did this yesterday. It wasn't even like it was late. I don't know what happened.
You've done a lot in your day, I'm sure.
I guess I'll fix that for next time. Sorry. But anyway, so Benny was in town for Killer Nashville. Actually, several people were in town. I got to have dinner with Michelle Cox. Fabulous.
That's what I just finished
fabulous
reading.
person.
So I'm going to interrupt you because you asked what I was reading. So I'll tell you more in a minute. Go on. Sorry.
Okay. So Michelle Cox.
Squeehaw. Oh, sorry. Not right.
You squeehaw her.
Squeehaw the show. Yeah. So Benny was in town. Michelle Cox was in town. There were several other folks who were in town. But it just so happened that Nashvilleian J.T. Ellison was one of the keynote speakers. And if you've not read a J.T. Ellison thriller, go get one. I just finished Tear Me Apart. It was fantastic. Loved Tear Me Apart. She's just so talented, so humble, so funny. That woman is hilarious, y'all. Follow her on social media too, because she's a trip. But fabulous book, Tear Me Apart by J.T. Ellison is what I just finished. And today, because I finished JT's book, I just picked up Kirsten Moglen's new one that launched today. Read the first chapter. I was just simply going to make sure it loaded on my Kindle. And lo and behold, I was on chapter 2. So her brand new book, I was going to put the picture of it up if I can find it. It's Our Little Secret. Our Little Secret by Kirsten Moglen. And it's fantastic. So go grab that one. It just launched. And so now on to you ladies. What are y'all reading?
I'm not. I'm not reading right now. I just finished Michelle Cox's wonderful series, Henrietta and Inspector Howard. So the last book I read was The Child Missing. Super fun. She's a nice mix of historical romance and mystery. And I just read through all 5 books. I just really enjoyed them. I did a little binge read. So Michelle, thank you I was so excited to meet you, and I did very much enjoy the books. I am currently trying not to read anything because I'm on a writing deadline for my current book. And I find when I read, I'm less likely to want to write.
Yes, I have that problem.
So I'm kind of holding off. I've got a bunch of things loaded up on my Kindle, one of them being Traveler by Miss Nola Nash over here that I'm looking forward to reading. But trying not to write right now because I'm trying to solve some book problems. So not reading right now.
Don't do it. Solve the problems. Write the book.
Don't read, kids.
I'm like that too. I get distracted. I get into a book. Laura knows. I will sit down and read a book in one sitting. I read her book. I read Evening in the Yellow Wood in one sitting.
So such a fast reader.
I get that way. I read Carla Vergot's book. I read the Lily Barlow books in one sitting because when I get hold of something, it's like the rest of the world has to stop. Like, again,
right.
Figuring out Canva, it's all these other things. It's like, no. This is the thing I am doing now. I really got to be better at multitasking, but I suck at it.
Yeah. Betty says must be so hard to make yourself not read. And I do this very seldom, Betty. I just really, I love to read. Reading is breathing, but I hit like literally, and I looked at the calendar and I looked at where I am for my deadline and I was like, yeah, okay, Kerry, you need to kind of focus. So,
I have to do that too. I do. And I want to read more, but and I'm working on a book right now. Normally I can't read and write at the same time. But what I'm reading and what I'm writing are so vastly different that it's okay. But if I'm reading something and people say, oh, you must read a whole lot of like historical horror and Gothic horror, and it's like, no, I read short stories, a lot of Edgar Allan Poe and things like that. They're short because I can't get into a novel like that if I'm writing that, because I don't want to start echoing the author that I'm reading. So if I'm going to read and write at the same time, it has to be vastly different. And so I think I can read Kirsten's book and write the third book in the Crescent City series because they are nothing alike. So I should be successful here.
Should be.
Should be. If all of a sudden some hoity-toity neighborhood with a lake and a big house and lots of people keeping secrets manages to make its way
Well,
in.
no.
Although it's Kirsten's fault. God love that woman. I mean, she's awesome. That's another author y'all need to get to know is Kirsten Moglen. She's fantastic. And she's another Nashville person. So those are
I didn't know she was in Nashville.
Kirsten's not far from me. So
cool. Have you met her?
JT and Kirsten, I have not met her in person. I got to interview JT and Kirsten, both of them.
Wait till I come down and then we can all have dinner
together. To get together because
I know.
She's fantastic.
I was very jealous when I saw all the fun you were having last weekend.
Oh, she's amazing. I know. No, we got to get Kirsten. We got to all hang out with Kirsten because she's fantastic. So
I know. Can I segue into what I'm reading because
it
feels like it's Kirsten Moglen Day because
it is.
I'm reading The Arrangement by Kirsten Moglen.
That is one of the covers, though. I love that cover. Hold it really close so they can see the hand. I love the hand pulling the wedding ring.
She's kind of messing with her wedding ring there, and if you read it, you'll know that it's kind of about an open marriage. I think I am on chapter 4 or 5. It's a nice, easy read that I read before I go to bed. I have to read before I go to bed. If I'm staring at my phone, I don't sleep very well. So I usually try to read before I go to bed. My husband complains because of the light being on, but he just has to get over that. So, and I am the opposite of you girls. When I read, I want to write.
Oh.
It really inspires me, but I do find sometimes, like I was reading Rebecca, that old novel by Daphne du Maurier, and I loved it. I was entranced, spellbound, and I found that when I was writing, that it kind of sounded flowery.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I think I'm writing a little bit like Rebecca, but I usually can straighten myself out. I usually can, but I do kind of get inspired. And I'm not a fast reader. I so wish I was. No, I start and then I guess it depends.
You have a life. I read to the exclusion of everything else, and that's not healthy.
Yeah, I guess I do have kind of a lot.
You strike a balance that I have yet to achieve.
Yeah.
Well, it's my own fault. I can't shut the world out. Well, I have this thing behind me to try to shut the world out. But if I hear my kids, I hear the cats, I hear the dogs, I'm kind of like, what? Let's go. I can't.
Squirrel.
I have a really hard time tuning it out. So I do enjoy it. Do you hear the dog?
I do.
He heard you.
That's so weird. Everybody just came home. Dog. I have a hard time tuning it out. And I wish that I could. I really enjoy it when everybody's gone. Is that bad of me? I'm like, no. It would be nice if everybody would just go away for a little while. And then I feel a little relaxed and I feel like nothing's going to surprise me. And then I can kind of relax and really focus on my reading and stuff. But
it's hard to turn mom brain off. I mean, there's always that you're always on high alert. Like even when you're sleeping, like when your kid's standing over.
And they need something.
Yes.
They need things always.
Always.
I realized last night mine is still on. My mom brain turned on when my first child was born, and it still has not shut off. Because this keeps happening. We have a dog, no longer a puppy even, and sometimes like I'll get up with the dog has a little digestive upset. I'm up 3 times during the night. In the morning, the Viking's like, "How'd you sleep?" I'm like, "Well, I was up 3 times with the dog." Oh, I didn't notice. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I don't think they have the same. Yeah, my husband can really just ignore the kids and their needs. Not that he's uncaring.
No,
he just doesn't bother him if they need something and he can't fix it. I want to fix it and figure it out.
They're fixers. We're alert and they're the fixers. It's like we alert, we wake them up, they solve the problem. Or we solve the problem usually. And then they're like, why didn't you wake me up? You know, there's always that.
I think we're genetically wired. I believe this. I think it's an evolutionary thing that moms are tuned to hear stuff because, well, somebody has to. So
make it better. And whatever we have to, and mine's more the emotional stuff. For like my daughter was upset by a class that she had, and so I went to the school counselor, and I want to get her class switched because she's in with a bunch of kind of troublemakers, and she's that sweet little kid who sits there, and she gets in, the whole class gets in trouble, and she's upset because. So I couldn't rest until this class was changed for her, and it really bothered me. And thank goodness the school counselor came down first thing today. And said she would change her class, and I was like, oh, thank you. And then I got to go tell her. That was the best part. I got to go down to her classroom and go, you got the class you wanted. And then that made me feel so good, like I was mommy, and I made everything better for her. I try. I can't always make things better, but
although now that I hear you, I have to admit, so telling stories on myself. So once I started writing, I'm going to say that sometimes the kids, you know, if they had life and death needs or if things were really urgent, they got taken care of. But there was this day, I have to tell you about this day. It was horrible. So my youngest son, he's a charmer. All of the other mothers adored this child. So I went to a band concert. He was in jazz band and they were playing somewhere, and he had grown and his pants were too short. He did not tell me this, by the way, but I'm sitting with the other mothers and three of them are talking to each other like I'm not even there. And they're like, did you notice Brandon's pants are a little too short? We should have fixed those for him. It's like, seriously, these were the other mothers. And I was like, oops. But he did not tell me in my defense. He did not bring it to my attention.
Oh, that's so funny.
You do need to bring things to your attention because you can, especially as they get older. You're not dressing him, you're not putting his pants on him. You don't see.
It's like senior year, you know.
Yeah,
I feel that if there was a problem, he could have told me. So I didn't feel too bad. It was one of those where I felt a little weird, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, my mom used to always tell us, she'd send us outside, me and my little brother. She'd send us outside into our backyard. And I don't know, she's cleaning the house. She worked full time, so it had to have been on a Saturday when she's trying to clean. But she'd send us outside and she would say, do not come inside unless you have vomited or there is bone protruding. Those are the only two reasons you may come inside.
Did it get hot out there? Did you have to stay outside?
Well, it did get hot. I mean, this is Baton Rouge, y'all. I mean, it got
bone squeehawed out of your arm. Don't you come inside?
I mean, if we were squeehawed.
Squeehawed need to be number 3 on that list.
Yes, if you're squeehawed, you can come back inside.
When you say vomiting, bone protruding, or just plain old squeehawed.
But then, you know, we would drink basically hot water out of the hose because we could not go inside. We would try to bribe our way in by going and picking wild flowers. Mom, we've got flowers. And she's like, leave those outside. They'll be fine.
Was she cleaning? Did you say she was cleaning in there?
She was cleaning the house, and she just didn't. She wanted it to be completely clean.
It's hard to. Yeah, I clean houses. It's hard to clean with people around because they just mess it up.
But part of it is annoying. It was clean. She needed to enjoy it for a few minutes before we came.
You can enjoy it for about 45 seconds before they trash it. Yeah, it's nice.
Exactly. Yep, like see, Betty has the same experience.
Yeah. Don't you come in, Betty, unless you squeehawed.
You gotta be squeehawed, thrown up, or bone protruding. I will never forget that. Thrown up or bone.
You've done a fake bone or something. You guys could have.
Not broken. It had to be sticking out. Like broken. Go get a stick.
Not just a broken bone. Bleeding doesn't count, you know.
No, bleeding, you spit on it, you wipe it off, you should be good to go. Broken bone, go find some vine and a stick, splint it up, you'll be fine. Protruding, we might need to do something about.
Oh, goodness.
God love my mother. I mean, my mother was a fabulous mother. Please don't get me wrong. I mean, we had a great childhood, but that's what I remember about house cleaning Saturdays. And I think it all started when I tried to help one day when I was real little, and I dusted the wood furniture with Windex.
Oh, she wanted pledge, didn't she?
Well, Windex turned the varnish on the wood furniture white. You don't dust with Windex. And she was real kind. And she said, thank you so much for helping, honey. And she sent me out in the yard. And then she said,
don't ever come back in again.
She just cried. I was not allowed inside on house cleaning day after that. Go figure. Oh, ladies, we have talked for a very long time, and we could keep talking all day long. Carrie, you're going to have to join us again. I know it's evening time for you, Laura. Your family's home. We should probably wrap things up, but we need to do this again because this was fun.
We have a funny story though before we go.
Tell a story for you.
Where I'm going right after this.
Where are you going?
I hope nobody from my school is watching. We don't have air conditioning in our school.
Oh, that's right.
And it's in the 90s, hundreds here in Michigan. It does get very, very hot here and very humid. So my husband and I are sneaking an air conditioning unit into my school. Ooh. So for the next 2 days, we're going to try, the teacher and I are going to try to hide it like behind some educational material. So
it's not gonna like
nobody knows that
you're not gonna have like freon fumes in there, really sleepy children. I
don't think so. It's the one with the hose. The hose kind of goes from the outside, and but it was almost 90 degrees in our classroom yesterday.
That's ridiculous. That is
ridiculous.
And
brains kind of turn off at 90 degrees.
Well, they just melt, and then they're gonna start oozing out of ears. This is not okay. No, you gotta fix that. That's not good.
So we're gonna put on our ninja outfits. And is Kerry frozen, or is she just?
She's frozen.
She puckered.
Kerry, you puckered and you froze.
She's going, no, I'm not. But we can't see her. She seems.
Oh no.
She's gone.
Oh no. She's gone. Carrie doesn't want to be in any way associated
with my
ninja routine.
With my possibly illegal.
Yes, your illegal air conditioning.
You were never here. Never implicated when they confiscate my little air conditioner. So yeah, that's what I'm off to do and read a little bit more tonight of this. It's and she did a TikTok video. That's probably something we could talk about sometime is
we TikTok in the book world. I have not gotten into TikTok in the book world. She did.
She puckered and left.
She puckered and left.
She sure did.
Oh God, there she is. Carrie's back. Yay!
Carrie out. There she is.
That's funny.
I'm stuck mid pucker.
The internet has decided I should not be here, sadly. So
we thought maybe you didn't want to be party to Laura's breaking and entering in illegal air conditioning.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. That's why I left. I did
no part of this. So
I know nothing.
Never here.
I hear it actually. We normally don't require air conditioning in my part of the world, and hardly anybody has it. And then we've had the hottest summer I think on record here. So it was up to 112 one day. No air conditioning.
That's so yeah.
Betty, glad you're back.
Thank you, Betty. So the Viking and I figured out how to we lived in a cave for like 3 weeks in our house because it was extraordinarily hot. So at night it would cool down. We'd open all the windows and get all the fans going, get the house cool. And then in the morning we'd close everything up. We hung quilts in all the windows. We had tin foil in some where you couldn't, it was dark. And then we just hardly go outside so that we'd keep the cool air in. So we survived.
Well, you figured it out. The Viking, is this what you call your
husband?
Partner. My significant other, or whatever it is that you want to call him. The man with whom I live.
The Viking. Is he Viking-like? Why do you call him?
He is Viking-like.
Does he have a hat with horns?
He does not, but he could. He's large and blustery and very soft on the inside. He'll do things like, for example, this is something I put in my newsletter today too. There was this giant spider in the bathtub. And I'm not really scared of spiders, but I don't really like to squash them when they get big like that because they crunch, right? So I was ignoring it. Spiders in the bathtub must die. I have kind of a live and let live with spiders who behave themselves and follow the rules. They're not allowed to climb on me or be anywhere in my bedroom or in the tub shower, or they're dead.
I agree with that.
Was in there and then it was gone.
And that's the worst when they vanish.
I know. I was like, so did you happen to notice what happened to the spider? I'm going to have a shower. Did you kill it? Or is it hiding in the curtain? Being real super casual and chill, because I pride myself on not being, totally fearful of spiders.
I would be scared.
And then he says, I got a glass and picked it up and took it outside.
Oh,
I know.
He's that kind of Viking, isn't he? He's just that kind of Viking.
He's got this very, very, very soft inside and totally supportive of my writing. But anyway, I call him the Viking because he would prefer to be anonymous and not be online with all of my shenanigans. So I don't name him, and he doesn't get shown. There are no pictures of him, and he is the Viking. So
I love that.
I love it. But see, I'm intrigued. Now I want to know what he looks like.
Somebody, you know how you go on Google and you're looking for things, and I forget, somebody had actually Googled. You can tell what other people have Googled. Somebody had Googled, who is the Viking? Kerry Ann King.
Oh, I love this. I don't know who you are. You're gonna have to tell me, but is a spider a sign that the house has to be burned down? Yes.
Yeah, it can be.
Depends, right? I don't like spiders either, but
oh God, Betty.
I try to let them go.
No, Betty, no.
He's so slimy.
In bed.
That's a sign that the whole house has to be burned down. Salamander in your
That was
bed.
nice. You took that salamander outside, though.
I would have taken him outside, but he couldn't be in my
Benny.
bed. No,
Benny's our
not in bed.
Facebook user. Why did your
Benny's back as Facebook user.
name?
He's
Benny
Benny.
We get those giant palmetto bugs. Like they look, like those giant like roach things. Because I've got trees all around. We got them in Louisiana because they're everywhere.
Lots of bugs, yeah. Ugh.
They're the worst. I mean, we just call them roaches, right? But they're really palmetto bugs. They live outside. They're not Benny's and Sissy's in stealth mode. Okay. But the palmetto bugs we get in the house in Louisiana. And I hate them because they can fly. Like, that's the worst part. So my parents go away and they went like just for an overnight thing. And I'm a teenager, just home by myself. Don't know. My brother probably found somewhere else to go. Didn't want to stay home with his sister, big sister. So they come home and it was like a stormy night. And of course that drives those things inside. And it was an older house, lots of cracks they could get into. And they come home and there are like in the South growing up, you don't throw away the containers your butter comes in or your Cool Whip comes in. That's your Tupperware. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Same.
So, because that's what you do. So there was like a few of them in there, and talk about crunching. Like you can't kill these things. They're horrible crunch. And so I wouldn't kill them. I ran and got Tupperware and I sat there like curled up in a ball on the couch and I'd like cover them up as quick as I could with butter containers and Cool Whip containers and whatever else I had.
It was plumb out of Tupperware, wasn't it?
It was horrifying. It was like being in some kind of horror movie. It was nightmarish for me.
It needs to find its way into a story.
It needs to. But my parents come back home and there's like butter dish here, Cool Whip dish there. And they're like, oh my God. But you know what? My daddy knew exactly what was under those things, and I left, and he got rid of them all.
Oh, nice, Daddy. That's very cool.
Daddy.
We have, where I live, we have stink bugs, and they're not, they're like about this big. They also fly. If you kill them, they smell.
They smell
really horrible.
Little ones, not the big ones. That's
they smell like grass. I always thought. I didn't think they smell as bad as.
They smell kind of like apple juice.
Yeah, like
grass needles,
fresh cut grass.
But they come in the winter because they want to be warm. There's that ad: if you're cold, they're cold, whatever. So they come in and they're everywhere. We give up on killing them. They're just like stink bugs. Like we just don't, and they're everywhere.
We should make a meme. You're cold, they're cold, and have a bug.
The thing that's really bad is they land in your hair. And
no.
My daughter's in the winter because you know what it is. But then in the spring, we have this nest of wasps somewhere in the walls that we can't find, and they come in. And so what you have is then it lands in your hair, and you do the I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it
it's
is?
a stink bug. I don't know if it's a wasp. I'm not going to touch my hair. That's one of those where then I have to go find Viking. And I'm like,
Find the Viking. The Viking will take care of it.
No. See, I live alone. I have no Viking. You've got a lumberjack, Laura.
Lumberjack. Yeah, that's what I should call my guy. I should start saying lumberjack.
You have a lumberjack. You have a Viking. I just have Dudley. Dudley is
Dudley.
effective on these kinds of matters.
We can't help you with things. Betty knows about stink bugs.
Yes.
Didn't know you were going to be talking about bugs.
I didn't know it was bugs. Yes, there are bugs.
That's another word. Squicking.
Yes.
Is that Southern too?
She's from Chicago. Aren't you from Chicago, Deborah? Is that a Chicago word?
Oh, yeah. What's that? That's a new one.
We got fun words.
Fun squeaking.
Oh.
Yep. All right, so y'all got to find me a thing. I need a Viking, a lumberjack. There's got to be some other thing I could have.
We'll find you some other thing.
Okay. It's not generally called a thing.
I have a thing. I can
find you a man with an occupation that you can refer to, or appearance that you can refer to him vaguely. How does that sound?
I need someone. I can refer to vaguely. Yes, by their
Chicagoland.
Chicagoland. Yep. So Deborah's from Chicago. Deborah King's another great author. Y'all get to check her out as well. Oh, Betty's got no Viking either. Yay! It's worthless. Getting rid of it. Oh, you found your frog. Just sitting on the frog. Just walking around it. There you go.
Cats aren't real good at that stuff.
They either bring you the frog or
sometimes they'll eat it. But
I like the frogs. They do kill the stink bugs. I have one who will track and kill the stink bugs.
Your cat?
Yeah, one of my cats will do that.
Oh, good
Dudley stares at them. He found a little tiny cricket earlier today, and he was just looking at it. His little tail starts to vibrate, and I'm like, "What have you found now? It's in my house." So I got the cricket out of the house, but Dudley stepped on a wasp the other day. It was the saddest thing.
Poor guy.
He was so sad. He cried in his little trembling paw. He was trying to go. He likes to potty in the monkey grass. I think he likes big tall monkey grass tickling his belly. I don't know. But there was a wasp in there, and he stepped on it and jumped, and then he's like crying. Of course, we're outside of this kind of shopping area. We had gone to lunch and running some errands, my mom and I. And she went on to run the other errand because Dudley is just crying like some sort of
like a child, like your child,
clinging to me, and his little arm is like just shaking. And the bench that I found to sit on was outside of a pet store, like the pet supply store. And so all these people with their like giant dogs and things are coming in and out, and I've got this tiny little dog who's just crying. I'm sitting there, and all the pet parents are coming out going,
yeah, Dudley's pretty cute. He probably gets quite a bit of attention, I would say.
Baby.
He's so sad about the wasp, though. It was heartbreaking. Poor little guy, but he got over it, and then he was there for the baseball game, but it was touch and go there for a little bit with Dudley and the wasp. So
my husband, the lumberjack, is texting me. I think it's time for our mission.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's that code for?
The clandestine air conditioner.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Hidden behind. Oh, yes, that one.
Sure.
For many things. Yeah. That's all a ploy.
All right, we're gonna go let Laura go and install her illegal
my air conditioner.
Laura Kemp, woman of many talents.
Yeah.
Clandestine air conditioning. Ladies, we need to do this again. This was a lot of fun.
This was fun. I had a great time.
Nice to see you, Kerry. Thanks for popping on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys are fantastic. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. And we will see you guys, me. I'm in a habit now of 2 other shows I'm doing. It's like the same outro every time. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Laura. Old habits die hard, and clearly I am not rocking this particular technical end of the show today. I'm going to try to get the outro right. We'll see you guys next time on another BYOB.
Bye.